Lorcan was very, very standard in growing up. We had no issues as a child. It was around 3 years old that we realised that he had some additional needs. We were actually told that at the time that Lorcan was still too young to diagnose anything and leave things and wait and see. As parents, we felt that wasn't acceptable, so we did push to try and get some sort of diagnosis or understanding and get more people involved of what could be his issues. It was shocking, and the first thought was, this can't be true. Then you go through of really thinking and researching, and then you go through a period of grieving. You definitely go through a bit of a depressing time. Lorcan was actually attending a mainstream nursery, preschool, and he'd been there since he was about 1 year old, so they knew him pretty well. And they brought in the area SEN at the time, SENCO, a lady called Melanie. She was wonderful because she was very experienced in children with special needs.
The first thing I observed was that Lorcan was a very determined and very strong little boy. However, he clearly had significant communication and interaction difficulties and needed some support to be put in place. I worked in partnership with the family and the nursery and other professionals to chair a team around the child meeting, which is bringing everybody together to talk about Lorcan's strengths and his interests, but also his additional needs and the best way to support those needs. Out of the meeting, we created a one-page profile. The one-page profile was a way of putting Lorcan at the centre of everyone's thinking. It was important for everybody to be open and honest about what Lorcan's strengths were, but equally what his needs were, to help us put the right support in place in a timely way. And it was important that the family could feel comfortable to feel, to be honest and open, and that the staff in the nursery were supported to be honest and open.
It's scary because you really want to have to think about all the issues of your child, which can seem like you're talking very negatively about them. So with all of those people who showed so much care and support, it sort of was quite cathartic and quite, I think, psychologically sort of freeing for us as a family. My parents were involved, they spoke with my parents, they spoke with my husband, myself. It was all about how can we help Lorcan and how can we make Lorcan succeed.
I supported the family to put together an early help assessment, which some people know as a common assessment, a CAF. That was so that we could provide support within the nursery, so some inclusion funding so that Lorcan could have somebody working alongside him in the nursery environment to help him communicate better and to get more from his learning.
So we decided to move him to another two settings. One was called the Bath Opportunity Preschool, who deal with children with special needs, so he started going there a couple of days a week, and the other was to another mainstream setting. Through that we had a SENCO who is very involved with us and trying to understand what other funding, what other help and support we could get for Lorcan, because I think it was becoming very obvious that he needed a lot more one-to-one.
In order for me to support a family to help their child to get a plan in order to go to school, I would share all of the paperwork with the parents, have a meeting so that we can go through the paperwork so they're familiar with that, give it to parents to take home and have a look through themselves, and we can talk through the bits they need to complete. I can explain to parents what people they're going to meet, what the stages are, what the timelines are, and we can have as many meetings as the parents feel they need to have so they feel confident and ready to embark on the process, really.
We decided to try and look at doing the educational healthcare plan, because this would open up sort of the world for us, really, because we would be able to apply to special needs school, which you do need to have it for that, and for mainstream schools we could look at getting him additional support in the schools, which he definitely would need.
I supported the nursery and the family, working in partnership with professionals in gathering evidence to put together an educational healthcare plan needs assessment request. That means compiling reports from professionals, information from the nursery, information from parents, and putting the one-page profile in as well, so we have Lorcan's voice and the things that are important to him. And we looked at short-term and long-term aspirations that the family wanted, and the key thing was that they wanted him to be able to communicate and to make friends in a mainstream environment. The statutory SEM panel decided to issue a proposed plan, and they consulted with the school of the family's choice, and then the school agreed to take Lorcan.
Once we know which school the child has been allocated to or which school they've got into, we arrange a transition meeting with that school and with those staff members that are going to be closely working with the child. A teaching assistant was advertised for and employed to help support Lorcan in the school, and I think it helped Mum to be part of that whole process and to be somewhat involved in the teaching assistant application.
If children get the most appropriate support in an early years setting or on transition to school, you will start to see that they will make really good progress, perhaps in their communication skills, in their social or emotional skills. They will feel happier and more comfortable in going to nursery or school. The staff will feel more skilled and more comfortable with them, and other children will feel more confident to come up to them and communicate with them as well. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. If the right support is there, everybody learns from it and gains from it.
I would strongly recommend to families to find someone they feel comfortable with to talk to about the education healthcare plan process and begin it. It's the process that we use in this area to support children to transition into school, and it is a very, very positive process.
At times you feel like, why am I doing this? And everything feels really negative, but the end result is going to change your life, your family's life and your child's life. And it doesn't stop here. It means that constantly through his life he will be helped. We have people we can reach out to if we have concerns, and they're always there. What it's done is just opened up a new world to us and to Lorcan that is going to help him for the rest of his life, and we know that the possibilities for him are endless now.